Welcome back to another beautiful day in the land of music. My name is Douglas, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to import and export scenes on the Roland V-Stage. This is going to work with the 76 key and the 88 key versions. It's pretty simple, but this is an important task if you want to A, back up scenes that you've built or transfer them to another V-Stage, share them, things like that, as well as importing scenes from other people that you buy or get. And then Roland also has already released a scene pack for the Roland V-Stage, 64 scenes that you can just add to your V-Stage, and it basically doubles the factory scenes for the keyboard. So really cool stuff. We're going to get into that in this video. We are going to use a USB thumb drive for this process. So make sure you've got a thumb drive because we're going to use that to import and export the scenes. I'm going to walk you through a couple of tips as we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to format this USB thumb drive. You don't have to do this. I haven't done this on all of my different transfers and stuff that I've done, but I've messed around on this thumb drive enough that I want to just format it, get back to a blank slate. So I'm going to come into the menu. I'm going to move over to my memory. I'm going to press down on my encoder to come down one line in the menu. And I'm just going to, the highlighted is the function we're going to perform when we press down. So I'm going to leave it on format, press down, format USB memory. Are you sure? I'm going to move my cursor over to OK and press down. That's going to format this USB stick. And sometimes, depending on the format of your USB thumb drive, it's good to go in and just format it so it's in the format that the V-Stage supports. Now, there is a specific folder structure that's required in order to import scenes onto the V-Stage. We're going to get that specific folder structure by going and exporting a scene out of our V-Stage. I'm also going to show you what that needs to be in this video. So if you're not exporting, you're just importing, just keep watching, and I'm going to cover exactly the format that you need to have in your thumb drive for the directories in order for the V-Stage to see those scenes to import. Now, what we're going to do is scroll over. We're still in the memory menu, and we're going to press down on the export option. Now, when you're exporting, you can select up to 512 scenes to put into, there's not an official name for it here, but I call it a scene package. So we're building out our scene package here. Let's say we want to grab the contemporary piano. We scroll to the one we want and we press down on the encoder, and that puts a little check mark, and you'll see now we've got one of 512 in our scene pack here. So let's grab just maybe 3 of these. Let's go to the next page. You can scroll down through all of your different banks and scenes. So now we've got 3. We're going to use the left arrow, which corresponds to this export function on the screen. And that's going to move us over and ask us to name our scene package. So this is what that file name is going to be when it saves it to our thumb drive. We're just going to leave it as vs_scene. We're going to press down on the encoder, which is the enter function to confirm. It says, are you sure? We're going to press down to do OK. And it's going to go ahead and export those 3 scenes we selected into one file that's going to be our scene package. Now we're done with our thumb drive. We can pull that out. And before we jump over to the computer, I wanted to just show you in the scene list view. So if I press down, we go into select scene. These are our banks and the scenes within the banks. If I move with my right arrow back over to the initial letter of the bank and move down to B, and then I come to BA, all of these are empty. So we've got a lot of space. There's 64 scenes that come from the factory with the V-Stage, at least when I got it. And then there's room for a whole bunch more, 512 slots for total scene storage on the V-Stage. So let's go over to the computer. Let's download the free scene pack that Roland has released for the V-Stage, and let's bring that onto our V-Stage and try out a few of those scenes. So this is our thumb drive that we've plugged into the computer. You can see we formatted it with the V-Stage, so it gave it this V-Stage name. And then inside we have this folder structure with our exported scene. So it starts with Roland. We open that up and we have V-Stage and sound. So if we open up sound, there's nothing in there. If we open up V-Stage, we have scene and backup. So it created this folder structure for us when we formatted it, which is kind of nice. So if you're using that format option, it gives you that folder structure. In here, we have the scene we exported. So we've got Roland V-Stage scene. And if you don't want to format your drive with the V-Stage, you can create these exact directories, all caps, Roland, another one inside called V-Stage, another one inside called scene. And you can put your scene file that you want to import into that scene folder, and the V-Stage will recognize that as an importable scene. So this is our scene we exported with the 3 scenes inside of it. So this is that scene package I was talking about. It's nice it puts it in a single file. It makes it easy to back up to your computer or transfer to another V-Stage. Let's go over to the Roland Cloud Manager. If you don't have this, you can get this on Roland's website. Inside of here, we're gonna make sure we're in the hardware instruments page. We're gonna go to the synthesizers subpage, and we're going to select the V-Stage 7688. We have a few different sections here. We've got the model expansions. If you're curious how to get those onto your V-Stage, I've got another video I'll link in the description below on how to do that. And then right below that, we have this scene pack for the V-Stage. It's Prismatic Layers. And there are 64 scenes that come included with this. We're gonna click on the little download arrow, and it's a free download. So we're gonna choose to download this to our computer. I'm gonna say select folder. It's gonna queue it and download it. It's pretty quick. Down below this, there's a bunch of sound packs that are paid from Roland that you can put on the V-Stage. Not gonna cover that in this video. We're gonna talk specifically about these scenes. So coming over to the folder we downloaded this Prismatic Layers into, we have this zip file that was downloaded. We can right click on this zip file in Windows, and we can choose the extract all option. You can extract this in any way you want with 7-zip or any of those compression tools. Once that's extracted, we have this directory here. If we open that up and open the one inside that and open the one inside that, we have this vspp_prismalayer.svd. Now keep in mind that SVD is that package file with the scenes in it. So we can take this, copy this, come over to our thumb drive and paste it into that scene folder that we have in our folder structure on the thumb drive. It's only 0.5 MB, so really quick little file there. And once it's pasted, we're good to go eject this thumb drive from our computer and plug it back into our V-Stage. So back over here, we've got the thumb drive. Let's plug that into the memory slot again on the back of our V-Stage. There's a few USB ports. The computer, which is a USB-C, that's for using the audio interface or MIDI capabilities with your computer. Then there's a memory port. That's for this thumb drive, the memory stick. And then there's a couple external devices for controllers, things like that, plugging those into the V-Stage. So plug the thumb drive into the memory port on the back of the V-Stage. You can see again, we're gonna put this in our B bank, and we've got 64 empty slots there. If we come over to our menu, and we're still in the memory menu, we're gonna scroll over to the import option. And here we have the option to import scenes or tones. In this case, we're gonna be importing this scene package. And you'll see, because we put it in that appropriate folder structure, we have our 2 scene package files, our export, and then the Prisma layers that we copied in there from the free download from Roland. So here we've scrolled to that option, highlighted it with our encoder, and we're gonna press down to import that scene. Now it's gonna give us this page that allows us to select which of the scenes within that scene package we wanna import to our V-Stage. So we're gonna leave all of them checked, but if you didn't want some of them, you could scroll to that scene and press down on the encoder to remove the checkbox next to that particular scene. We're gonna leave them all checked, and we're gonna press the left arrow, which is going to move us to the next screen. Now it's gonna ask us where we wanna put these. So we could put these in any empty slot on our V-Stage, basically anything that says initial scene on it, but it automatically puts it in the first available and then down. So you can see here, it already put it in bank B, A 1 through 8, B 1 through 8, through that bank B. I'm happy with that. We can scroll down through, you can see all of our scenes there, available scenes, and we can see it auto put it in the first available free scenes. So in order to execute this import, we're gonna press the left arrow again. It's gonna ask us to confirm. We're gonna press OK. And it's gonna go ahead and import those 64 scenes from that scene pack into the V-Stage. Now that it's done, it's completed, we can actually see the result of this by pressing down on the encoder to go into our select scene mode. Go to the right arrow a couple of times to move to bank B. And here are all of our new scenes in here. So we can scroll through these with the encoder. We can walk through them with these 8 buttons below the screen. We can sample any of them while we're on this select scene screen. Or if we want to select that we can press down on the encoder, and that brings us into our scene page. That's a cool one. We can also scroll through them here on this scene page. Again, we can use these 8 buttons under the screen to choose the 8 scenes within that particular bank and sub-bank. Honestly, it's really great that Roland provided this. There was one area where I felt it was lacking a little bit, only coming with 64 factory scenes, and then you had to build the rest yourself. Inside each part, though, if we come into the piano part, the tones do have some effects and things that come along with them. So in a sense, you have a starting point there with the tones. You don't have to go completely from scratch, but it's really great. This free pack doubles the amount of scenes, so it's really nice to be able to import those and just have a whole bunch of additional scenes to play with here. I know I always default to the key of C, but let's try something else here. Seamless sound switching again when you're in scene mode. I'm getting carried away just playing around with these. I'm going to end this video and keep playing with these, but hopefully this was helpful in A, getting you started exporting scenes that you build, and B, importing scenes like these free ones from Roland or other scenes that you buy or pick up along the way. Or if you back some scenes up and you decide you don't want them, you overwrite them with something else, you can always import those scenes if you've backed them up to your computer. If you have any questions with what I went over in this video, feel free to throw those down in the comments below. I'm going to be starting to introduce more videos on how to use this keyboard because it's really powerful. And to be honest, the owner's manual is helpful to a certain point, but I'm going to try to give you some tips and practical advice on using the different areas of this keyboard. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, stay inspired, and keep making that music.